Some third-party finance brokers are quite literally the bottom feeders of this industry, and I'm going to throw one under the bus today because of the terms and conditions that these companies are trying to tie you up with. Now, I wouldn't normally throw companies under the bus. It's not normally my sort of thing. However, this particular one threw me under the bus with the customer and made out like I was a crooked car dealer. So, I'm going to talk you through the one deal that we thought we had done for this month that fell apart because I decided to do the bizarre thing and read through their terms and conditions before I signed them. So, good morning, good afternoon and good evening. Welcome back to the channel, and let me give you a bit of an update as to what's been going on this week in my used car dealership. And in a nutshell, not a lot. Sales are still really quiet at the moment. So we have taken a deposit on a car and I'll talk you through that one. But this deal in particular was via a company called Zuto. Now, Zuto and Auto Trader are affiliated, so you know my feeling on sometimes how Auto Trader might treat the customers. Zuto is no different at all. Now, the deal I'm going to talk about is a Golf GTD in the right colour, with the right wheels, the right spec, a lovely car. Now, it's quiet at the moment, and we don't normally deal with third-party finance brokers because, as a rule, we can get a better deal for our customers directly. However, in this instance, Zuto reached out and said, we've got a customer for your car. Can we get the registration number? And they ask your inside leg measurement, but I think it's fair enough some of the stuff they want to know. So how much MOT is left on it? When was it last serviced? Do you provide a warranty? Usual sort of stuff that you'd expect a proper car dealer to do anyway. So I'm not offended by that. Now, the problem I've got with Zuto is that sometimes their interest rates are ridiculous. And from conversations with this customer, it turns out he was quoted 24% APR. Now, I suspect, and I know now, that that's actually to do with his credit file rather than Zuto. But it's one of the things that just sort of winds me up, because that, I feel, is a bit of a reflection on us sometimes when people don't read between the lines and sort of see that Zuto's got nothing to do with us. Now, the thing that has really wound me up with this is because when they sent the deal through, which I reluctantly accepted, they tried to charge me a fee to do the deal, which I said, I'm not paying a fee. They then suggested that they just charge the fee back to the customer. I said, well, no, I don't want a customer to pay a fee either. I'm not paying anything for you to do the deal. You're welcome to take the commission, but that is it. Cards on the table. I'm not prepared to do anything else. It was all geared up to go ahead. I spoke to the customer direct because he reached out about a part exchange that we didn't want, but we were willing to put a bid on to sell through Carmora, our car buying site. However, that never really happened because it was basically a scrap car. But they sent through their terms and conditions, and these are the bits that really wind me up, and to the point where I actually said, I don't want to do the deal. So there are two sections deeply embedded within Zuto's terms and conditions, and when I read them to the customer to explain what was going on, his head nearly fell off as well. This is the key one. They suggest that both parties agree that should a vehicle fail to meet the definition of satisfactory quality at any time, then it shall be presumed that such issue was present at point of sale, unless you can conclusively evidence that it was the customer's fault through instructing a reputable third-party independent consulting engineer. Now, when you just sort of glance over that, it doesn't seem too bad, does it really? You just think, well, of course your car should be right, and of course they should be right at point of sale. That's normal. But when you really think about this, what they're trying to do is tie you into a warranty for the entire period of that loan. This particular loan was 60 months. 5 years. Now, the way that they are doing that and putting you in a position that you are absolutely stuffed if anything goes wrong with that car is because they are saying that should a vehicle fail to meet the definition of satisfactory quality, which will be defined by them, at any time, which means throughout the entire length of that contract, it should be presumed that it was sold without fault. And the only way that we can unpresume that, or prove that it wasn't there at point of sale, is to instruct an independent party. So, for example, Ace or Scotia, or one of these companies come out and do a third-party assessment on the car at a cost to us of usually 250 to 300 quid. And what they then have to do is evidence that it was the customer's fault. So, that's not even a guarantee that we can get out of a problem in year 4, for example, by proving the fault wasn't there at point of sale. What they're saying is that we need to prove that the customer has caused that fault. So, for example, the customer does 100,000 miles in that car over 4 years and then the engine falls out. Well, unless I can specifically prove that the fact that he's driven it that amount of miles in the way that he's driven it has created the problem that the engine's fallen out, I'm still liable. So, I had a bit of an issue with this. And I sent an email back to Zuto saying, look, I'm happy to go ahead with your business, but I'm not happy to do a deal based on those terms and conditions. I just don't want to do it because I'll talk you through the second one in a second. Anyway, what eventually happened is they rung me back on the email and just said, look, you've got a problem with the terms and conditions. I said, absolutely, I do. And I explained to them what the issue was. They said, well, what we'll do is we'll have a word with management and we'll get someone to give you a call back. They didn't call me back. What Zuto decided to do was to call the customer directly instead, and they said to the customer, and I quote, this deal isn't going to go ahead because the dealer is not happy to warrant that car. Which makes me look like I'm selling piles of doesn't it? They're just dirty, blacklisted. Never, Zuto, not a chance. Now, the other thing in the terms and conditions as well, which is quite scary, is this bit. So it is section 8, which is indemnity. 8.1 shows, you agree to indemnify us and the lender and keep us and the lender fully indemnified on demand against all losses, costs or claims, including legal costs on an indemnity basis. Basically, I won't go through this in too much detail. What this is saying is, should we ever have a fallout, and this ever goes to court, we'd like you to pay for our solicitors, please, to take you to court to sue you. How, on what planet does that make any sense whatsoever? So I called them out on that as well, and they're just like, well, this is just the way it is. Anyway, long and short of it is, I didn't go ahead with this deal, and this is pretty difficult because if you've been following the last few weeks, you'll know that March has been shocking as a month. We've sold no cars at all in March, and this was going to be our first deal. Now, it's a Golf. There's not a huge profit margin in it, etc., but it is just a deal on the board. It's some metal moved, and it's, you know, a little bit of profit in, isn't it? However, I ended up backing this and not going ahead with the deal. Now, I spoke to the customer about it, and I read the terms and conditions out to him, and he was also gobsmacked. He really, really wanted the car, and even came back to me and said, is there a way that we can do some form of a contract that overrules the contract that they're trying to put in place? So I spoke to my legal team, had a word with them and said, look, is there any way we can do something? Because the customer's basically saying he just wants his standard consumer rights, which is fair enough, and we all understand how that works. And the legal team just said, sorry, just don't get involved because you're signing T's and C's there, and what you're then trying to do is get out of them by doing a separate contract with the customer. So unfortunately, this bloke who really wants the car, who clearly has got a little bit of adverse credit and has done well to get financed in the first place, now can't have the car because of the way that they deal with dealers. So the person, yet again, that ends up with a problem in all of this is the customer. And worse, the finance broker has told the customer that we're unscrupulous, and that's why the deal's not going ahead. Now, fortunately, he was fine. We returned his deposit, he's okay with it, and he wants to do business in the future. And I hope that eventually his credit rating will get sorted and all that sort of stuff, and we can get him some finance on something and move forward. It's stuff like this. It's so blatant. Anyway, there has been good news this week because we have sold a car. Well, we haven't. We've taken a deposit on a car, which is this beautiful Mustang 5-litre V8, came in from a subscriber, and that car has been deposited. Not sold yet, but it looks like it might be going ahead. We've done a bit of a deal to get it across the line, but you know, when times are hard, you make things happen, and that is going to be hopefully going out in about a week or so's time. He's got a car that he wants to sell. We offered him some money on part exchange. He thinks he might be able to get more privately, which is fair enough. So he's going to give it a try for a week, and if he can't, he's going to sell it to me, and we'll put it through Carmora and sell it into the trade because it's not our sort of thing. So, positive. There are some positives to take from this week. But I mean, one car sold so far this financial year is pretty rough, isn't it? We also had a viewing on another car on Saturday. We had a viewing on two cars on Saturday, the Mustang and also an RS6. Really nice guy, really keen on the car. About an hour and a half was the viewing. Loved the colour, loved the spec, loved everything about it. Could not fault it in any way possible. It was giving me every buying signal that you could possibly think of. We're on the test drive and I'm sat next to him already thinking, what's the next car I'm going to buy with the funds that we're getting back out of this car? Anyway, right at the end of it, he decided that, and he wouldn't tell me why, he just didn't feel like that car was for him. Now, I was annoyed because obviously I wanted to do the deal, but also not annoyed because I can't help but respect someone who'll stand there and go, this just doesn't feel like the right car for me, so I'm not going to buy it. Rather than, what I'll do is I'll think about it, I'll speak to the missus, I'll give you a call, and then you just never hear back from them. So, you know what it is, we didn't sell it, not the end of the world. He wasn't pleased with something, I don't know what it was, because he didn't tell me, and it was perfect, that car. I don't know what I've missed on that one. Maybe he just got cold feet, or maybe it was his first time actually driving an RS6 and it wasn't what he wanted. Anyway, I respect the man for just saying it as it is. So that's a positive, I guess. Other things that have happened this week, we have got this McLaren that's come in. So this is coming from a friend. It's a pretty special car. It's coming on consignment. I've not spent £140,000 on a McLaren. However, we're going to see if we can sell it from here. If not, there's other options and other people that we can do like a consignment type deal through. But it's a good opportunity for me to try and sell something really heavy out of here, because we tend to cap out at about 100 grand. Seems to be our ceiling. Only because I've never tried anything more, but it just feels like from a unit in an industrial estate that just, I don't know, maybe it's just psychological or whatever, but that's a proper beautiful car, and as you can imagine, I've been driving it very, very carefully.
Want to see a really good design? The reversing camera's the screen. That's really helpful, isn't it?
Yeah, it's out there. Yeah, perfect.
We've also bought another car, so we bought a BMW 440i. Now this car is particularly rare because of the colour. It is Laguna Seca Blue, which there's a load of history with BMW. Quite a special thing, coming in through prep now, so that's just heading through the doors. So we've had a lot of back and forth with AA Cars this week as well, so we're trying to get them set up to come across and inspect all of the cars that are in the showroom, so that's going to be happening next week. And if I said I was a little bit anxious about it, it'd be an understatement, but it's all parcel of becoming an AA sort of approved, authorised dealer. Now, you don't have to be inspected as a dealer, you can just be approved as a dealer, but we want to go full fat with this and kind of really show our cards as a business. So we've been back and forth with those guys, trying to get everything set up, and things are starting to line up properly now. So hopefully we'll have more information about what's going on with AA Cars over the next couple of weeks or so. Now, speaking of sponsors, as you'll know, we've also got Vehicle Score on board. They've been on board for pretty much since day dot, and they've always been a massive supporter of the channel, and I've been a massive supporter of theirs as well, because we use them for checking our cars in here to make sure they're not nicked or crashed or whatever. Now, the owner of Vehicle Score reached out to me last week and said, would you mind doing a little video for me to put on other YouTube channels where people aren't happy to talk about Vehicle Score? So we did that this week, and it took, I want to say, about 84 takes. And here's a little taster of that for you. This is a public service announcement. If you want to buy a car and make sure it's not got hidden history, what you want to do is make sure you've done a vehicle... Rain is annoying. We can maybe have some music over it anyway. It will tell you whether or not a car has been stolen, whether or not it's been an insurance write-off, whether or not it has been clocked. When you're buying cars, it's very easy to get taken back by all the shiny and sexy stuff. Can't say sexy. How long's this train? When you're looking at a car, it's very easy to get absorbed in all the shiny stuff. Oh. Here's an app for you. It's called Vehicle Score. It's a fantastic product, and it's actually free to use to get your check and see whether or not you're... Has it been stolen, recovered? Has it got finance attached to it? And are there any of the... And use the free checker, see what the score is at $999, and maybe go from there. The link is in the description below. Oh. Now, if you've not seen the video that we put out earlier on in the week, I think it went out on Thursday or whatever, we have actually had a subscriber get in touch on the back of this mini raffle, which is due to end at 10 o'clock Saturday morning. If you're watching it before, you might get a ticket. If not, probably done and dusted now. However, really, really powerful message, because we're obviously doing this raffle because we wanted to anyway, and then we're also talking about the fact that Keith, who's a subscriber, has got prostate cancer and wanted to spread the word, get yourselves checked out. Well, this subscriber picked up on that on one of the videos and ended up getting himself checked out for prostate cancer. Turns out he actually had it, was isolated to the prostate, managed to get some keyhole surgery, and is now in the clear, which is absolutely mind-boggling to think that as a little YouTube channel, just by happen chance, meets a subscriber who just happens to have this terrible terminal illness, and we're going to be taking him away soon for a little trip away with him and his missus, and just happens to talk about, we happen to talk about it, and I think we've genuinely, well, we have saved a life there. So a massive thank you to Keith again, our subscriber, for talking about this, because you've saved the bloody life, mate, which is obviously amazing stuff. Now, in other positive news, we had a visit this week from a particular friend that you might remember, a chap called Callum who used to work here, and he popped in just to see how we were getting on and to inspect some of Tim's work.
So we've got a special guest turned up, which is Callum. If you don't know Callum, he must be new to the channel. And he's currently going around all the cars in here and assessing Tim's handiwork, and I thought you might want to watch it while it shuts up.
Is that one alright, Cal?
So it's not bad, is it? Knew he'd never replace me.
What did he say?
Nothing?
Nothing, Tim.
Tim, you're fine, you're fine. He made his bed, let him lie in it.
Hey, Rob bought me a new drying towel.
I saw it upstairs in office actually.
Oh, let me use it.
Oh, would you like it? I'll give you it now, actually. I bought Tim a present. Well, Cal's going to feel bad because Cal asked for a drying towel for 2 years and he didn't get one.
Many years.
Tim's more insistent.
Since I started, really.
£27.
You get what you pay for, don't you?
You do indeed. All you got to do is hang it overnight. It's dry as well.
I'll throw it from the ivory tower.
Ah, yeah, of course.
Good catch.
Oh, it's a
Plush microfiber that, isn't it?
2 minutes to dry down instead of 20, which would be better.
Yeah, I still the same thing though. I still want it quicker.
Yes. I actually brought it in to be told me 2 years ago.
Say why I asked for them now. Look at that. Done.
You know what it is, Cal? I would have bought you one. You'd have been grateful and said thank you.
I would have been. I'd have been really grateful.
I did thank you.
You didn't?
Did I?
No.
I'm sure. I would have done.
I would have done that.
You would have.
I must have.
But just in case, eh, Tim?
Yeah.
I must have done.
On camera.
Thank you.
Anytime.
Oh, he said it.
Just want to make your life easy, mate.
Lights.
I just want you to come into work and think, this is cushy.
Yeah.
Oh, I see the
Making
see the washing line still there. You're gonna put your towel over it as well. You could just do it with propellers on roof, couldn't you, to blow some warm air down?
We're going to get to the pub, are we?
You're all still at work, yes.
Oh, things have changed.
Weird, that.
Things have changed. You know what happens as well? You all start at 8.
Did they?
We've had a profit last year as well.
First.
Now, obviously, it was a Friday when Callum came in, and the thing that you like to do in the motor trade on a Friday is go for a quick pint after work. Now, in Yorkshire, the difficulty with going for a pint after work is deciding who pays. So what we like to do is spin a wheel on a Google bloody listing and see who does it that way, and it ended up getting a little bit more convoluted than that, as you can see in this clip.
Oh, right. Oh, this is for the round.
Yeah?
Right, okay.
So it's between Alex Wicks and Tim Clark, isn't it?
No, you should be in it as well.
No, you're right. Callum's coming over, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, get Callum in. Yeah. He will
Okay.
be disappointed if it lands on him.
Yeah, this is for the record, Callum. We're choosing whose round it is.
Hang on, no, best of 3 or just...
Best of 3, whose round it isn't.
Right.
Right.
Or should we just spin once and whoever it lands on? Yeah, spin once.
Oh, no, we'll decide in a moment.
Yeah, if it lands on
No,
you.
yeah, we're fine, spin, yeah.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, best
Tim's
of
round
3.
then.
Best of 3.
You said spin, there we go, we have a winner, Tim. Excellent, Tim's round. Who's getting the next one in?
I hope you've removed me, have you? Yeah.
We have.
Go on. Oh. So it will be disappointed.
Excellent. So, somehow this has landed on Alex and Callum.
We'll give him a second to catch up with us.
Yeah.
I know he's got it. He's over there again.
I'm here too, mate.
I can see you. You're in shot.
So we're going to toss for it. This almost makes you look good value.
Yeah. It's hard to look.
It's harder than it looks being a tripod. Heads. What do you want?
The bottom end tails.
I think we should do it again.
He cheated, he flipped it inside his hand.
Oh, okay.
And I just called him out and I said that.
Yeah. I had luck Cal twice in a row.
Best of 3, innit? Want to get one more?
Yeah, best of 3.
How many times I can do this? This is the decider.
That's unlucky, Alex. It really is unlucky.
That's right, actually, because when we did the wheel earlier,
Yeah,
Tim,
it was
and
wheels.
you.
Wheels are fast.
It's fate.
Wheels are wheels.
I'll have the Shamley. So overall, it's not been a great week for making money again. not the end of the world. Carmora's doing fairly well, so we've bought and sold a few through there. I've got a video coming about that next week at some point. Also, I'm going to be doing the final review of this BMW M5 Touring that I borrowed from Tom for a couple of weeks. It's fairly scathing because I don't hold back with my opinion, and I didn't do with that thing, so that's going to be dropping hopefully next week for you. The thing is absolutely insane, but totally infuriating. Anyway, I hope you're going to like that. And we also got loads of feedback on the Cosworth video, so everybody seemed to enjoy the wrap, etc. And what I forgot to mention was that we popped to my barber, Lee, who's up the road, to show him the car, and he was absolutely over the moon to see something from the 90s. And here's a little clip of that for you.
Lee will appreciate this.
I was hoping you were going to come.
Bit of you?
Does it make it?
Huh?
Yeah.
It's cool, isn't it?
Definitely a bit of a. Does it? Oh,
It's a Lux.
it's a Lux. It has the electric windows.
Yeah.
Oh my god! It has a sunroof.
Heated windscreen.
Oh, what the hell did they do
Yeah.
those in
Yes.
'93?
2.
Is it a 2?
Yeah. What else? Boost gauge.
Oh,
It's just cool, isn't it?
isn't it?
I think I'm going to stick it outside yours and take a photo, mate.
Yes.
And you can put it on your Facebook. You like a 30-year-old Escort, don't you?
Oh.
For the gram.
For the gram. She's flirting with me now. There's a nice car here.
Is she? Yeah, don't blame her.
It's him you need to be chasing.
It's all debt. You don't want it.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Such an odd man. Yeah, it's him that keeps doing this.
Making him pretty.
Well, you didn't hurt me this time. You normally hurt me.
Actually, did I?
Yeah.
You didn't say how once.
Yeah.
And I was really surprised.
I normally
about
pay
that.
extra for that.
You do. What else has a spoiler like that?
I know.
nowadays?
Did you know it was meant to have 3?
Was it?
There's meant to be another one in between those 2, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that nice.
That's all right. I knew you'd want to see it. Is it
Anything
over
else
here?
you'd like to drive past in the next couple of days to tease me with?
How nice is that Beamer?
Oh,
Sounds epic, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's got an exhaust on it. 60-year-old man sold it in. Straight for
Really?
exhaust on it. Yeah. Bit of you, that.
It is definitely.
It is absolutely a bit of you.
It is 100,000,000% a bit
We'll
of me.
find a way out of that. Set it on fire. But no, bit of you. I'll get this haircut money back eventually, you know.
You will.
It's going to take a while, innit? Ciao. With the local mortgage advisors.
So there we go, another week of being a car dealer. Bit of a slow one, but yet somehow still absolutely manically busy. A final thing we're going to mention just before I finish is we had a subscriber reach out, a guy called Tom. Now I sold Tom an F-Type V8. Oh, what a car that was. Oh, it brings me on to something else actually. So I sold him an F-Type V8 about 2 years ago, and subsequently he's ended up becoming a subscriber of the channel, and we've stayed in touch ever since. He's a really sound guy. Now he saw me drinking some fizzy protein shake last week, and he sent me a load of this protein stuff for nothing on the back of that video. And mate, I've been trying some of these. I've had a mojito one and I've had a strawberry and lemon one. And since I drank protein shake 5 to 10 years ago, the whole industry has changed totally. They don't taste of anymore. So, Tom, mate, massive thank you. I'm going to be buying my stuff through you moving forwards. I really appreciate that kind gesture. It was nice of you to pick up something and run with it. So, thank you for that. But it has just reminded me of something else. So, finally, before I go, supercars. I've been talking about buying a supercar, and I've been trying to get something because basically we've been given the opportunity to do a road trip. Now you might have noticed on one of the videos before we spoke about a road trip company, and it looks like we might be going away soon, all of us. Now I'm trying to find something that I think is good value, that might go up in value potentially in the future, that is going to be reliable on a road trip, something sort of sports and performance, maybe supercar-y-esque. So I've been looking at Audi R8 V10s, like the older ones, so a Gen 1, maybe a manual of a Can-Do, because you can get them for like 50 grand or less. Been looking at F-Type, so for example, Tom, the F-Type I sold you, would be perfect. I've been looking at sort of everything, Lamborghinis, like older ones, but I'm trying to find something sort of sub 50 grand that we can use on a road trip with a view that I can buy it for the right money, drive it to the Pyrenees in Spain, come back in it, wipe its backside, put it online, still sell it for a profit. And it's just feeling less and less likely the more and more I've been looking for sort of 2 or 3 weeks. So if you've got something that looks a bit like that, I am all ears. Manual R8s, yes please. Convertibles, yes please. Something like that. I'm itching to get something. It's going to be financed because, as you well know from last week's video, I ain't got no money. Anyway, thanks again for joining me, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.